Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
All right, so here we go. We're on the charts. Let me pull up a chart that probably doesn't have one on here. Let me see. Let's just pull this one up. So you'll see probably what happened. What you'll see this morning is that all your zones are gone. The only thing you might have is your moving average. And basically what's happened is that if you right click on your chart and you go to your indicator list, you'll see that you don't have that version 4.1 or 4.0 on here anymore. Basically, when they made the change, it takes the first one off, removes it from all your charts, and now you have to reload it again. So you go over here and grab this arrow 4.1, slide it over to your chart, release it, and you're going to see this little screen pop up. You're going to see this is arrow 4.1 under the common tab. Going to click on allow DLL imports. And I just kind of click all three of these. I don't think this one makes a big difference. Check your inputs. These are all default inputs, so you don't really need to make any changes there. And then you click on save. And when you click on save, you're going to get this little box that's going to come up. Click on OK. And then you're going to give it a name. I gave mine, I usually give mine the date. Let's see if I can pull it down here. Let's see, where is my version 4.
You got enough templates there, Al.
Yeah, these are from all the other variables and everything else here. What happened to my 4.0? I had it right here at the top. Where did it go? That's variable secure box. I thought they were right here at the very top of it. All right, well, we're just going to give this a name, and we're going to give it, I'm going to just give it arrow 4.1. I'll even leave a little space there so I can see it, and I'm going to give it a date. I'm going to leave a space. I'm going to have 21st.03 March of 23, and I'm going to save it. And so I'm going to save. Come on, save. What happened here? I'm going to save this. Go back here. I'm not sure what happened there. There it goes, and we can click OK, and it pops on up. So you have the charts back up, and then you have your template saved. So now you're pretty much done with this whole thing. You can close that off, and you can come back over to make it small, and then you can just go through all your charts. Let's see which ones did I not do yet. I don't know if I did this one. That one's already done. Then you can come over, and the thing is, I don't think you're going to get the alerts until you make this happen. So right click, go to template, load, and here's my version 4.1. This is the one that, actually this one I'm going to delete this one because this one doesn't work anymore. We'll right click on that one, the old version, delete it. And I'm going to use my 4.1, click, open, boom, there it is. And then you just come right along with these tabs and just keep reloading everything with the templates. Load version 4.1, highlight it, open, and boom. And just go through all your charts and then we'll start getting some alerts back again.
Perfect.
Load 4.1.
A lot of people
Actually,
don't know how to do this there, Al. A lot of
well,
people have struggled with this, and they use an old template and it doesn't work. And this is very valuable to make sure
yeah,
that
and
people
actually, this
have
is
their
really
things
working,
set up.
and this is working very smoothly. Actually, this is
It's good, man. Look at that thing.
this thing's just screaming right along here.
Absolutely.
So template, load, click on the template, open, boom. Click on the next one, right click, go to templates, go to load, and go to the new template, open it, boom. And just march right along until you get it all done.
Hey, Matt, can you do me a favor, please, and let Christine over into the panelists?
Oh, if you can't let me know, Matt, then I'll go grab her.
No, I lost access to that.
Okay, I'll get it. Let me get it real quick. We don't want to leave. We don't want to miss having Christine in here. Where is she at here? There she is. Boom, there she is. Okay, she's on her way.
Thank you.
There we go. And
Oh, sorry,
let's
I
see here.
didn't interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. We need to have Christine over here. And see, so we go to templates, load, and just keep on going through this whole process till you get them all loaded up in here.
Yeah, Judson's saying you don't have to open every chart. If you just click once on the reduced chart, you just kind of like right click on it and you can just bring it in that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's how I did mine just now. And I got it all done.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
Kind of
okay.
like
So,
you do the expert advisors.
Yeah.
yeah, so just slide it over to the chart itself.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
right click and load it on.
Yeah, I just make my template and just go it that way. I don't know.
Well, if you load on the template is what I'm saying. You don't have to open each chart.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is just an easier way to, actually, I'm just finding it a little bit easier this because I can just click on the bottom here. I don't have to worry about trying to close the template down and all that sort of thing, but whatever works for everybody. Lots of different ways of skinning the cat, as they say. Not any disrespect to the cat lovers out there.
Oh, I don't like cats, so I'm not offended.
I like cats.
Whoa, poor Shiloh.
Don't like Did you say something about cats?
No, I just said I don't like cats.
And I told it, and I said I do like cats, so therefore we balance each other out.
If it's any consolation, I wasn't a cat lady until I wanted a pet, and I cannot clean up after dogs as much as I'm a dog person, so I got a cat instead. Now I couldn't be without them.
Cats are neat creatures. They're very independent creatures.
Yeah, some of them have their own little personalities, but
yeah,
this
that's for
creature is
sure.
very social.
Hopefully we'll start getting some alerts coming up, popping up here. As well, anyway, I didn't have any alerts earlier. I'm not sure when this thing came out. I didn't get any heads up on this at all. So that could have been my lack of looking at my Telegram, possibly.
It was yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm having a great time with the VPS there, guys. Having a great time.
Did you get your VPS issue resolved last night there, Matt?
No.
Oh.
Let's not talk about that. It's getting resolved as we're speaking.
Just so it went away? Load.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. Is anybody out there having problems with this maneuver that we're doing right now? If they are, raise your hand or ask a question in the chat box, and we'll see if we can get you squared away here real quick. Ooh, what happened there? Let's go.
Hey, thank you for being patient there, guys. This is one of these processes that take a little bit of time, though. But
It's very little time. It's just no, 10 minutes. We'll get everything back up and running here. We should be just about done here. What do we have? There we go. There we got. There's a EuroCAD alert. Let's just go to the Euro. If we can finish the rest of this as we go along here. EuroCAD. We're going to be looking for that one. EuroCAD. Down here. Have an alert. We have a down arrow. Scroll back, see whether it's up or down trend. Looks like it's an uptrend with a down arrow. And we're getting very near the zone, so not much there on that one. British. So we'll measure it out just to make sure, but I don't think there's going to be enough room there. There too, we got 7 pips to the zone, so that's too close. Plus we're in an uptrend. I'm going to put an up arrow. Mark that so we know which direction we are. If we go back to the chart, British Swiss. Go back to the British Swiss over here. And, ooh, this is looking, lots of room there. Let's see, downtrend, up arrow. That's not a good thing. It would be contra trend. There is a 200 moving average kind of in the way between here and your target. The target would be, here's your arrow. Here would be the target. There's 25 pips. The problem we do is we have a down sloping 200 moving average in the wrong direction. So like I said, we did say this is a downtrend. So I'm going to pass on this.
yeah, there's no trade on this guy.
And we have we did have a bounce arrow with a go on it, but it's in the contra trend zone. So that's if this moving average wasn't here, I'd probably be willing to take that. But with that downward moving average, I would expect there's going to be a little bit of a bounce off of that. And this looks like this could be more of a come up here, retest somewhere around in this area, and then drop off down and come back down. So I'm going to pass on this. See if we get a down arrow later on. That might be
Down
something.
arrow would be great, Al.
Yeah, down arrow.
I'd take that down arrow anytime.
Yeah. So right now we have, this is where we're looking at. So if we get a bounce off of this moving average, we might have a little bit of a trend line here for something like that. It may come up, test this, wick through, come back, retest it, and see if you can get a little bounce off of that to maybe get your 20 pips to the downside. So we can kind of keep an eye on that one. So,
hey guys, just
yes.
want to let you know I was just kind of looking at the Arrow chat, and just for people listening in, obviously 4.1 Arrow was released, which we just did. But the other kind of exciting news is, according to Nate, this weekend the dashboard will be officially launched. So,
oh, okay, that's a couple of days away.
Something to look forward to. Yep.
Yeah, and that will be another time-saving device for us. So let's go. Let's continue on with where we were as far as getting our charts loaded up while we're waiting. Let's check out the news here while we're thinking of it. While I'm thinking of it, we have some news. Here's our news chart, and this is Monday or Tuesday. And we do have a red folder, USD red folder at noon today. Fed Chairman speaks. Other than that, this morning while we're in here, it's going to be fairly clear sailing news-wise.
He actually speaks like 3 times this week or something.
Yeah. And
like there's a lot of potential big movers.
Yeah. And let's see, there's nothing else there. And let's see, we do have the, let's see, where else is my, other one. I had another one here someplace. Here's my FX book. Let's try this. Take a look at this one. FX book, pretty much going to be, I'm going to guess it's going to be close to the same story. March 23rd. There's a couple red folders here. This is the British right now. And that's at 7 o'clock. That was already, that's behind us already. And this one down here comes to the, another British one at 11:50. Governor Bailey speaks. And 2 o'clock, we have a couple, this is home sales, and what else we have here? Fed Chairman speaks. So that's this afternoon. So keep those in the back of your folders in mind, and to see what we may be looking at on those. And let's go to, let's see where else we're at here. And let's take a look at, how about a yen pair? Yen seems to be the strongest currency right now. So let's go with, take a look at a yen New Zealand. New Zealand yen. While we're looking around here, New Zealand. Where are you? Here we go. Strong move down. The yen has been rather strong overnight. And we're in the money zone right now. Looks like it's broke yesterday, but yesterday had a very narrow zone. Not very typical for a Monday. Seeing you had the breakout there. Well, I'm not seeing anything on this one imminent. I don't even see any green zones. What happened to my green zones on this? Let me reload this, see if it's load. I'm not seeing any green zones now. 15 minutes. Let's see if there's, yeah, I've got some on the 5 minute. Nothing on the 15. That's interesting. That's the first time I saw where there wasn't any, no matter how I scroll it in, there's still nothing green. So that must mean we're at a very deep point in this retracement in this direction. Let's go to a higher time frame, see what we got. Go to 1 hour. There we go. Already bouncing off the 1 hour zone where it looks like on the 1 hour chart, we're in an uptrend coming down to retest the zone. We are on a higher time frame. We are in an uptrend. Interesting. We'll just wait for an alert on that. But I would mark this one as, let's see, we'll mark this zone just to get some reference on it. Open trade. And we're going to put this at 75.48.5, 75 point. Just mark these two, and we'll move this one back up to the top here. Move this one up here. Don't worry about the stop later, but I'm going to reference this zone here on the on the 15-minute chart. We want to reference that. We know that there's a green zone down right below it. And we'll wait and see what happens here. And let's go back to our charts.
Al,
Yes.
Christian was saying that the Euro Swiss on the 15-minute looks like a flag formation.
Yeah, I can see that. Looks like we have a strong move up. We have a little bit of a flag here. Euro Swiss, the Euro and the Swiss. The Swiss is relatively weak across the charts. That would mean that the Euro is stronger. We'd have to get through this zone. Let's see, let me get some lines on here.
Generally, a flag isn't that long. That's kind of more of a wedge. Or
well, basically what I'm looking at with this is a strong move up. It's sort of basing. Now, it's been basing for a very long time. It's been basing for, this is on a 15-minute chart. So it's been basing for 1, 2, 3,
4
4,
hours.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At least probably pushing on 4 hours. So it certainly has found some area up there that it's having some problems getting through. Let's see, 110.44. And let's go. Let's see, so it, well, I'll say that this one, I don't like the fact that it's been basing so long inside this zone right here. I don't really like that too much. A lot of times though, if you get a strong move up and you get a pullback from a Fibonacci standpoint, you can, like here's the origin of the move. Take the Fibonacci to the top of the move. And right now you see we've had a 50% pullback off this candle, came back up, retested the top of it. Now you're getting a little bit of a wedge up here. You get a little, there's a high, lower high, here's a low, higher low. So you're starting to get that little wedge formation in here.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you're overall you're still in that lower high area, right? You have a high at the top on the left of your screen where that red zone is, and then you got a lower high, and then now you have another lower high.
Yeah, this is
You're-
kind of like a double top right in here. So this could very well reverse. Let's see where the trend is on this. Right now we are in a downtrend. So I would be looking at more of a reversal. I would look at this as opposed to being a continuation. I'd be looking at this thing more of a reversal where it's going to come up here where it's going to have problems getting through this area. And if you can take this trend line right here and you can pull it back and extend it and see if you can pick up some areas like right there. Actually, I almost have like another little, like a, let's see how I would draw this one. Oops. I'd maybe try and draw this as a parallel with that little wick. This is a little fractal right up in here. If you really look at it, here's the low, and you have two lows on either side of this big wick right here. This came up, gave a little bit of a head fake. This is kind of more like, I'm looking at this as more of a trap. I'd say if this thing broke out more out the bottom, break this trend line, come down, come back up, retest the trend line, and then come back down to maybe retest this area right here, the 78, the 79 area. So I'd be real careful about taking this thing long right now. The euro is stronger, but I don't know that it's going to maintain that strength. It had that strong move up, came right up into a zone, pulled back, made a little. I mean, this is a little bit higher, not by much, but this is the apex of this whole move. You are starting to get the crossover right now, but this thing could be going sideways for quite a while before it really breaks out. But it'd be something certainly worth looking into and checking out. But it seems like it's having trouble getting through this little channel up here. So be careful with that one. Let's see where we at. How are we doing on our loading our charts? And I can get the charts loaded up so we can get some alerts coming through here. Get that one. That one, that one. Oop, there we go. There's the first one I missed. We got that one. Load this one up. And template load. Here's my moving average. There we go. Bada boom.
You have two questions
Okay.
while you're doing that. One is Kirill would like you to look at the German 30 for a reversal back into the downtrend. Kirill, we need a time frame on that.
I'm gonna check. I don't even have the German 30 on my charts. I'll have to dig that one out of my
Okay.
list.
No problem.
Go ahead. What's the next one?
What are the main differences between a flag and a wedge? How do we determine which is which?
I don't really know the definition of the difference between a flag and a wedge. I usually look at if I see a strong move up, like I always figure the flag is what the end of a flagpole. You have a straight move up coming up, and you have a little wedge on the bottom. Whether it's a flat top or descending on both sides, I don't know. That's really a big significant difference. But usually the biggest thing is you have a flag pole. You have the pole going straight on up, which is that strong move up. Then you have a basing on the side, which is usually could be a flat top with it like a pennant, or it could just be a wedge. Either one I've probably fits the same criteria. There is a definition. I don't know the total definition. It doesn't really pay that. I don't pay that much attention to which ones which. But bottom line is that it's a basing area at the end of a strong move, and you just wait to see which way it's going to go. If it's a really strong move, it's it was basing, going real low, and then just shoots up, and it has a little flag. A lot of times you'll get that second move. There's the first move would be like, for example, even like on what I'm looking at right now, you'll see that it was basing across, going flat across, and all of a sudden it takes a shot up. If it goes straight on up and there's nothing much up there, then you may be looking to where it's a strong move up, small pullback. 38% pullback is usually one of my favorite ones. And after about 38% pullback, take it long again for about the same length as that first big move. But when you get, but when it's just sort of slowly going up, makes a little dip, comes back up, that's usually a sign that maybe turning around, which is what this one did. I said there are definitions out there on the internet about what I don't know that it's really any significant difference other than the fact that it's spacing with lower highs. If it's a flat top, a lot of times you'll get a flat top and then a wedge. I think they usually kind of call that a pennant. But usually what happens is it'll come up here, hammer, hammer, hammer. And if it breaks out the top of that, it goes up higher. If it breaks out lower, it goes lower. But right now, this is what you're looking at. Or oftentimes you'll see where it's sort of pointing down like this, and that's your wedge. So one's more like a pennant, which is a flat top with an angle in the bottom, and this is more of a lower highs and higher lows in forming a wedge. And then then you usually get to break out one way or the other. Oftentimes, I do like the ones where they have a flat top, strong move up, a flat top, comes back up, and then it breaks out the top of it. But you usually have you usually get a flag pole, which is this strong move. This rocket ship up, it just rockets up, comes back down, forms that little, and then if you get a Fibonacci retracement off of this, you'll go from here to here, and you'll see that there's a 38% retracement, and then if it comes back with 38% and it keeps on making, and then eventually breaks through the top, and then usually my next target's going to be after it hits the zero part. I usually like to go on up to the 1-to-1, which I don't have it on this chart, but usually around the 78%. I usually draw a little bit of a box right around in that 78 to some of it, if you have it marked. I don't know if I have it marked. I can put it, maybe I can mark it here. Fibonacci, and then I can add another level here. Add a level of a minus 100. See if that does it. Didn't see it. Where'd it go? Oh, I know. Try it this way. Minus 100 description. Actually, -1, I think is what I need to do.
Maybe hit add, and then okay.
I think I need to make it a -1, not a 100. Let me see. Let's see if that does it. There it goes. And then I would have a lot of times what I'll do is I'll draw the box, review. Let's see, insert. Shapes, there we go. Shapes, rectangle. And then I would be looking at, usually my target zone would be this area right up in here. And then a lot of times I'll back this thing off about halfway through this chart. Halfway, if I can get this thing. Ugh. Oops, what'd I do? I didn't like that.
What happened there?
No, I don't know. I think I just did something to the.
You try to break
Way to break it, Al.
Yeah, I just broke it.
No, that's not too bad. At least yours is running. I've got some
responding.
technical challenges on my end. I'm going to be pretty much not very helpful today.
What did I just do? But anyway, you take that box, and once I get this thing back, I'm not going to do it again. But we'll bring this box back about halfway into that 78 area, and that would be the target zone. So it comes up, breaks that, and this would be the next target. And that's only if you have a really strong move. We have lots of room to the upside. And why did this thing lock up on me?
Can you pull another chart up, Oh, I guess you can't.
This is frozen. Oh, that's frozen.
Frozen.
Here's my gearbox. So
It's just not responding.
It's not responding.
You might have to restart it.
Is yours still working, Eva?
Yeah, mine's working.
Why don't you go ahead and share your screen since so I get mine back again.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop sharing. Share screen, stop sharing. Let's see. There you go. You got yours back. Great.
Okay, so
Let me know if you get any alerts coming up while I'm fiddling around with this thing.
you took it was the EuroCAD we were on?
We were just showing a demonstration on the flag versus the pennant is what that was all about.
Okay.
Actually, do you have the DAX 30? Someone was asking about.
Yeah, I have it.
I don't have that on my chart, so maybe you could show that one while we're waiting around here.
Where'd you go? Okay. So this doesn't look very good for a, hang on a minute. I have to get below the thing here so I can reach my controls. They put that zoom bar in a place that you have a hard time controlling your stuff. Okay, it's in a major downward trend. Plus it's at the zone.
And my arrow just locked up.
It wouldn't be bad there, Ava, if we had we did a down arrow here. I mean, this is a second up arrow, right? So
If it was a down arrow, that would be awesome because it's already touched the zone here, and it might come yet. But then these two guys are looking to cross as well. So, what was Christine? Was that 15-minute or 5-minute? That did they say?
No, there's nothing specific.
No, sorry, they did not say.
Okay, well, because it's an index, I have mine on 5 minutes, the same with gold. And any crypto that I have, they're all on 5 minutes. So
Kirill, did you? Yeah, 5 minute.
yeah,
For,
so I
for
don't see anything here that you'd even want to touch at this point in time. But like Matt says, this is just cap this zone. And if we end up getting a down arrow, then it'd be worth looking at again. Because it is in a huge downtrend. So is there anything else we wanted to look at?
Looks like you're gonna have to take care of the charts because mine's still frozen here.
Oh, you're kidding.
No.
I mean,
don't know what
you
what's
can
this one.
always take over control if you wanted. I mean, my charts.
No, that may be an option. Let me just, yeah, my VPS. Well, I don't think it's the VPS. It's just my arrow charts are. My VPS is working fine. It's just my arrow charts aren't responding for some unbeknownst reason.
Let me just have a look at this Bitcoin. I just got into one and it's gone. Okay. So this
Bitcoin's been hanging right around between the 60 and 55 area. Just went down below 55 last night, but I don't think I think it's just taking a breather from all the big up move that it was having.
Yeah. Okay. So this is in an upward. But this is counter trend. See, I don't have my template set up like you do for the counter trend time period, but I believe it is now, is it not?
Yeah, 8 o'clock. Yeah, so basically you don't even need to put the lines in there. In fact, I find the lines to be more of a bother than but yeah, after 8 o'clock, which is 11 minutes ago, we are in the counter trend zone. So you could possibly take this one. Let me see.
I just want to see what kind of room we have here. Well, like if we would have taken it right when it came in, we would have had, what is that, 50? See, it's, hang on, I've got to make this a little bit bigger so I can see what's going on. I'm going to close this guy. This gets in my way. Okay, so now as a rule of thumb, from what I understand from Mariska, for cryptos, it's like a $100 profit target. Is that right? If anyone can answer that, that would be great. Do you do crypto?
Yeah, I just go to the next zone more or less. When I put my target, I just take whatever the next zone is.
And I agree with you on that. So
I don't go all crazy with trying to figure out the like the arbitrary amount because I've never heard one yet. So if Mariska says $100 move, then cool.
You know what? I'm not big on trading crypto on here. I haven't done it very often at all.
Yeah.
So
Hey guys, sorry, I heard my name there.
CB.
Yep.
Hi.
Yeah, I heard you were talking about crypto. I mean, the one thing to keep in mind, especially with Bitcoin, when you're trading on MT4s, you got typically a $60 to $70 spread. So, I mean, I'm usually looking for more than $100 with Bitcoin. That's for sure.
Well, yeah.
Just
so what you're looking at, maybe two? Well, let me just do this.
Well, like you guys said, I don't have any definitive rule. I just look at the chart. I look at, the zones and the moving 200 and sort of make a decision on what I'm going after based on the chart.
Okay, so I'll just put it there like that. Let's stick a stop loss in while I'm at it. Maybe down to what, 5.682, down to the moving average. This isn't quite as structured as the way Al does things. It's different on currency, but for crypto, I'm just kind of struggling through it myself, trying to figure out what the optimum is. But I like the way you say it, Matt, is whatever the next zone is, And just you kind of have to keep your eye on it, I think, when it comes to crypto.
I'm on a swing trade on both Bitcoin and Ethereum since last night.
Anyone take XRP before it blew out of the water?
No, I heard about that.
Well, I closed out some positions a couple weeks back because I didn't want to sit on it and I wanted my capital back. So I took a little bit of loss on that. But hindsight's always 20/20, right? So I didn't see XRP Ripple just going to zero or nothing, but I kind of needed my capital out of there. So
Let's keep talking crypto. Since you guys started talking about this, my trade's gone to the moon here.
okay, that's good then.
I do have my charts back, by the way, just so you have.
Oh, you did? Good.
Well, it was actually when I found out that there was a little window hiding behind where it was locked up. They asked me if I wanted to close it or not. And so I had to find that window before it would stop trying to reload. So anyway, we're back in business again.
Okay, so did you want to take this over then, Al? There's
well, that's if you're
the pound CAD on the 1 hour chart.
Oh,
Thanks, Sarah.
Pound CAD. Why don't you go ahead since you're there? You're doing a great job.
Let me just see. Okay, so they just want us to take a look. So, guys, chime in whenever. It is definitely in a downtrend. It's not a bag movement though, it's not a traditional bag. It didn't. Well, it's on a 1 hour too, which is traditional bag is 15 minutes. But aside from that, it's in a downtrend. Oops, sorry, going the wrong way. Now you've got your zone down here, 1.729, and your price point is 1.73. So you got like 40 pips anyway. So I mean, if you wanted to take it as a non-traditional bag, I don't see an issue with it on the 1 hour.
Just keep in mind it'd be more of a swing trade than a daily. You're talking a swing trade here, then. But also just keep in mind that you are going contra. Are we going to contra trend on this one?
No.
Well, no, we're going with trend here.
With trend on this one. Okay, so
yeah, on the 1 hour, it's one.
And here again, this is a little bit like we were talking about earlier, where we had that strong move down. We have a little basing right at the end of that. This is that longest. I'll tell you what. Let me move my cursor.
Take control of
let me. You want me to take control of yours?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yours. Press control. Remote control. And can everybody see my cursor?
Yeah.
So we have this long extended range candle here. I like these long extended range candles. They're very.
See your cursor.
You don't see mine?
Click on the chart.
Let me move my. Let me just show my charts. That's going to be a bit easier here. I'm going to stop your sharing, and I'm going to move mine back over here, and take it back over sharing here.
Good job, Sarah.
Thank you for stepping.
You're welcome, sweetie.
Here we go. All right, so here, and what were we on? What we were on British? What were we on?
Pound CAD. Pound CAD.
Pound CAD. That's over here. Okay, here we go. Now, is everybody seeing my charts? Are we sharing? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. Here's that. I like looking for these long extended range candles. Like here's one coming up, and here's you had like this is like 2 candles in a row. This is like a rally. There's a little base rally. Now this one, when you look at this would be kind of what we were talking about earlier, where if you draw your fib line from here to the top of that, and you get that small pullback, you'll see that this was probably going to come up pretty close to the top of this. There's the range. You see where it came up. Here's the pullback. This actually came out less than 38%, and then it came up to. Actually, this one didn't quite get up there where I was talking about. But here's where you would get a range comes back up, pulls back 38%. This area would be maybe now. This is too much basing for me. I just want a little bit of a strong move up, a little bit of a wick up, maybe back this thing off a little bit here to like this area. And then you can see where it had a strong move up, move it up here, came back 38%, and then came back. A lot of times you'll see where the first time it punches back through is going to stop right around the 62 area, then bounce back up. And then a lot of times the second push will bring it up to the 78 to 100. You can see over here is actually coming into that zone a little bit. If you draw it from like, here's the 62, you'll see this came right up to the 62% area of this move. Here's the beginning of the move, came back up, retraced 38%, came back, hit this 38, came back, retested the zone, came back up, hit the 62. Now it's coming back a little bit deeper, and it could still come up and retest this 78 to 100 area. It's still kind of in an uptrend, although it is starting to lose this steam. But this is what I was trying to refer to back before when we locked up my charts. You get this move up. I like the 38% pullback. And then a lot of times I'll go for the 70. I'll usually go for that 100 to 78. And I take that box I draw between there, move about halfway to where the middle of the box is right to 78, which pretty much picks up to 62. And that's where a lot of times you can go and catch that next push up. But you're looking at off these extended range candles like this. That's all I have to say about that.
Question now.
Yes.
Just looking at it that way, would that be beneficial to the person had asked for a 1 hour on the 1 hour? So would that be helpful doing it that we're looking at the 15 first and then looking at your 1 hour and doing the fibs?
I just say let the chart time frame speak for itself. You can maybe try find smaller, better entries off of the smaller time frames, but if you're looking at that extended range candle on a 1 hour chart, well, I just, whenever I draw things like that, I just keep it pretty much on the chart that I'm looking at. Whereas on if I draw to 15, I pretty much look at my target on the 15. I may look at the price action within that area to see if I can find out where the bounce may be or where the breakout may be on the lower time frame. But the ultimate target is based on the time frame which I'm looking at. Now, I would not really consider this is kind of an extended range candle here, but it's not the same as if you're, well, let's see. If you're looking at where you see like this is strong move up, and that happened in as M18 1 hour chart. So for 3 hours straight, but if you're looking at a 4 hour candle, that's just all one candle right there. So I pull this into a 4 hour chart, you'll see that move was right here. That was just a one candle, which that's extended range. And so just let the charts tell you the story based on the chart that you're looking at. But if you're trying to make an entry or a target, sometimes you can go to a lower time frame to try and tweak your entries and tweak your targets and things like that. Usually you have to go to a higher time frame to find out where the target zones are, especially if there isn't one on the time frame which you're looking at. Use the different time frames to help you make decisions and to find areas. But if you're looking for price action, I usually try and keep it pretty much I draw within the frame and then I'll go to a smaller, but I look at the same area to see how I can adjust it. I'm not sure if that answers your questions or not. Let's see here. Yeah, that's about all I can say about that part. British cat. There's a. Let's see. We're looking at the British cat. Let's go back to 15 minutes on this and see what we actually have here.
That's a 1 hour alert, Al.
Oh, it is a 1 hour alert. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go to the 1 hour alert. This is what we're looking at. We're still in a. This is looking like we are in a downtrend. I do like the fact we're below the 200 moving average. We have a zone up here to protect ourselves. Here is the alert was at 173. 31. Objects, trade, 1.7331, was it? That was where the alert was. And with the 1 hour chart, we're usually looking at a target of 50. So would be 172.81. That would be the target. And then the stop would be 100 pips. So 170.7431. Your target's inside the zone. You do have some downward pressure. British CAD, let me see where we're at with that. This out of the way. British. The CAD is showing strength to the, so that would be to the strength to the downside. I would say that, I mean, this is a, I mean, you may want to back off your expectations of the 50 pips. You may want to bring this thing up to, but from a swing trade standpoint, you're in the downtrend with a down arrow. Here's your strong move down, pull back. Here's a little bit of your flag or your pennant, whatever you want to call it. It's basing a little bit, but now that line doesn't seem to be quite where the candle stopped. I think it looks like maybe it should be more down about there. That's about right. Leave that one. So to the downside, I mean, I'd say this is a tradable swing trade, basically. A little bit tight on the target. If I'd like to look at it at 15 minutes, see what the 15 minutes doing. Here's our money zone. We had a low all the way down here. Yesterday's low for the money zone low was all the way down here. It did break the high a little bit, but it could potentially come all down. You actually have a down arrow here. You have 2 arrows. Still in a downtrend. Moving averages are still starting to get the crossover here. I kind of like this as a little bit of a pullback. I actually kind of like this trade. Let me take a look at something else here. So this is this is British CAD. This is my analysis, my chart for the analysis here. Strong
Al, I think you need to get permission from Neo to trade this pair, though.
That's true. Be careful, because Neo has a way of really screwing up everything else, even though he works on a.
It's funny. I've not checked out Neo yet.
Oh my God, Neo has been unbelievable for me. Matt and I were chatting about it.
Is that the one that just takes trades in the afternoon?
Yeah, two hour. The last 2 hours of the New York session is all that Neo trades, and I've been in it since February 26th, and I've had 0 losing days. I've made money every single day with Neo.
Really?
Yep.
And I guess I may have to put that on one of my demos and take a look at it.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
I do like this flat top here. We did get the cross. Let's see. This is. Let me double check my time frame. Here's 5 minutes. Here's the 30 minute. Here's the 30 minutes 62. See, this is where I like looking. If I look at the move down, here's the move down. Look at the pullback. Pullback. Basically, this from this move down to here, it pulled back 50%. I'm reading that from down this line right here. Pulled back 50%. Then I would be looking at a target on this one. I said, again, I prefer to see more of like a 38% retracement, which is right about in this area right in here to come up into my low overshoot area. But this is where we're starting to get a little bit of a Oh, so I kind of like that. We had a little bit of a trend going on with that. I can maybe pull it back up to this area. So there's our anchor. Here's a hit. Here's a hit. Now we'll see what it does off of this area. But my guess is it's going to probably give it up and come on back down. Then we get a little bit of a break of this area, this little trend. Little trend line there. If we get this thing to break through here, then we can be coming on down to this. And that's where I was trying to draw my targets. This would be the area that I'd be looking at. Here's my 78, here's my 100% retracement. I draw the box here. And then I usually bring it up about halfway. And then this would be the area that I'd be looking at for a target off of this down move. But this is not a bad area to actually sell it, but I would want to make sure that I'd like to see more of a, I'd like to see it break this little wedge down here at the bottom before, because this thing could still go up higher. I mean, it's already at 50% retracement. And if it goes all the way up to like a 62%, which would be right about up into this zone right here, which it could very well do, but it's got this moving average it's got to get through. It's got, and this, it's starting to challenge this a little bit to the upside. And we have a little bit of strength on the British pound. It's a little bit, quite a bit stronger, not a whole lot. But I'd be more apt to say if we can get a break of this trend line. Just make this little channel right here. This would be the area I'd be looking at for a target. I'll get rid of this just to clean it up a little bit. So here's your trend. Here's an upper hit. Here's a hit. Here's a high, lower high. This area right here is testing it right now. And you can see how it's starting to waver a little bit back and forth. Is it going to give me a red arrow, or is it going to green arrow, or a red candle, or a green blue candle? It's sort of in a zone right now of indecision. I would not take it yet. We are getting some strength to the upside. Let's see what it looks like on a 15-minute chart here. Strong move up, pacing, came back down. Here's our trend. This trend, I like this trend line better right here. There to here on a 15-minute chart. And you can see where this box came in and see how it kind of aligns with this area where the strong move up came in over here. That's why I could see where this could come down and retest this area. This is right where it was launched and originally. It's not quite ready to give it up to the downside yet, I don't think. Anyway, that's how I'd analyze that one. Let's go back to our charts. There's a British Aussie. See what we have there. Check and see where we are, uptrend or downtrend. Looks like we are in a downtrend with an up arrow. It did cross over the moving averages. And let's see, where's the Aussie? Yeah, that one's doesn't have enough of a spread for me to want to, I would not want to take this one contra trend. Right now, it seems like it's somewhat range bound right in here. Don't really have a bounce. I mean, have a couple arrows, but we don't have a bounce. We had a bounce without the pullback. I mean, this isn't too bad for a downtrend, but it's contra trend. It's the problem. We're in a downtrend on this one. Down arrow, downtrend. I would see if it comes back up, retest this, and it gives us a down arrow, then I'd be more apt to take this thing short. And you'd probably want to have this zone up here. I'd probably like to have my stop at least on the other side of this area to go short. Here would be the target zone. Unless it forms another green zone right there, but I'd be looking at more of this. I'd be more apt to try and take it short up. Probably wait till it gets back up right around somewhere between this blue line and this area. If you can get up there, then I'd be looking to take it short if it starts giving up, and you have a little bit of a trend line right here coming in. So if this thing can come up, bounce off of this trend line, give us a little bit of a, show us the weakness, and then we might have enough room for a target, even if a target might even be down below here to the 200 moving average. That's 71 pips on that. That's on a 15-minute chart. So there's lots of room to the downside. I don't really like it where it is right now to take it long. Contra trend, up arrow. Let's try and keep the wind to your back. Try and keep the trend to in your favor, and you'll find out you'll win a lot more trades that way. Here's a gold US. Let's take a look at that one. And we see gold is, what kind of a trend is gold in right now? It looks like it's in an uptrend. Up arrow. Didn't get the bounce. We didn't really get the bounce off of the zone. Gold's been kind of funny these last few weeks.
I've got it as an even trend.
Do you?
Yeah.
Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Strange how the different brokers differ.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Well, yeah, it is kind of strange how that works.
That's a strong red zone, though.
It
Right
is a
where
strong
it's
red
at,
zone.
that's a
Yeah,
strong one.
it's very thick. You can see how, I mean, this thing is,
Well, it's rejected at least 5 times.
and it's let's see, 1745 to, I mean, that's a $5 move through. That's a $5 zone through that, which isn't, for gold, it's not really that. I think we're usually looking for gold. I think we're looking on 5-minute charts with $5 and $5 moves, $10 stops, I think is what we're looking at with gold.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's again, we don't want to be taking things when they're in zones that keep getting bounced and hit and hit and hit. You're just really, I mean, if it breaks through, it's wonderful that, because you usually get a nice big move, but you're really rolling the dice a little bit. And we want to try and keep our odds in our favor. So I'll pass on that trade. We did one trade yesterday that actually worked out for us. It took a while for it took some heat on it. But what trade was that we had? It was a, let me see if I can find it. I'll take this off. It was the, where was it? This one, right? I think this was it here. Yeah, this one right here, the Swiss yen. That one worked out very nicely. They said we took some heat on that one, but it did work out okay. Let's take a look at the Swiss yen.
Actually, I got a couple of suggestions in the chat.
Okay. All right.
One is the pound Swiss. Sherelle says, I like how it's setting up. I assume it's on the 15-minute chart.
We'll just make that assumption unless otherwise.
Sorry?
We'll assume 15 minutes unless otherwise
Yeah,
Look at-
exactly.
And so it's looks like it's in a downtrend with an up arrow, contra trend. We are in a 200 moving average is kind of still sloping down, pointing down. We did get a break up here, but this was a little bit of a head fake, and it took it off. It broke the trend, broke the moving average, came back up, and fell off the cliff here. We do have a trend line from here to here. I don't like it so much on an uptrend. Maybe it possibly on it.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't touch that on the uptrend. I
Yeah.
hope what he's trying to explain by he likes the way it's looking is that we will
Yeah.
potentially get an alert, but there's
Yeah.
no trade here.
But this would be you would want this one could be a nice one for a bounce arrow go if we can get arrow down. So we got a downtrend over here. We did have the break of the overnight in the money zone. Let me get my blue line up here. Let's see, this is going to be the 23rd. We see like the overnight highs for, this was an overnight range, which was a relatively narrow range overnight, came in. It did give a little, actually, this one would have been a little bit of a head fake right into the zone. You had the zone right down here at the bottom, bounce, arrow. Actually, with this one, as soon as if you were up at this time of the night, you could have had a nice little trade here with this one. That's going to be, let's put it at 27.89. You couldn't take it short with the overnight high be right here. Here's the money zone, and here's the breakout of that. Now, you have this green zone down here, so you wouldn't want to be taken if you're looking at the overall zone where you're looking at the bodies. Hits the money zone, it breaks out, but it's breaking out right into this green edge, so you still wouldn't be taking that trade. But once it broke out at the top of the overnight highs and the bodies of those candles of this area right through here, hits the money zone, price is still breaking. Now this candle broke out. I mean, this does give you your arrow, and then you're looking at, I don't know if you could have gotten this one, and that's a pretty strong move. How much is that one right there? I don't know if you still would have gotten your 20 pips or not. If you started at the close of that candle, and you have this is a 20 pip candle by itself, you still have gotten your 20 pips to the upside. So you still could have gotten your 20 pips. And actually that would have brought you right up to, well, this line wasn't there before. So, but that's where the trend line where it hit, rejected, coming back up. It's going to probably retest that. And, but right now it's in a downtrend. So yeah, with this one, all in all, if you can get come up here and tag this little red zone and give us a down arrow, that'd be nice. That could be a nice little potential trade. Just wait and see on that one.
And we also have a request, any ideas on the EJ 1 hour?
EJ 1 hour. EJ 1 hour. Oh, I'm not seeing anything right there. That's well, could be. Let's see. What's the trend? Whoop, we're in an uptrend. Okay, so we're getting a bounce, possibly. It came right down in the zone. Bounce was rejected. We are in an uptrend, so this is still valid. This could make a nice little swing trade, possibly.
Got a ways to go for that arrow MA to get down there, though.
Yeah, it's going to be a little ways. Well, it's it's going to take. What's it going to take to get this arrow to develop in here? If it does, if we got an arrow off of this bounce, you still have lots of room to the upside. Let's just say you got an arrow somewhere between here and I'll still give you 50 pips to the blue line, so to the 200 moving average. So yeah, this could be a nice little trade to the upside if off a bounce. Euro yen. The yen is strong right now on the higher time frames. The yen is strong. So that's one that's down move here. So if the yen and the euro can switch positions a little bit on our heat map, it might be a nice little trade there. Let's take a look at it on the 15 minutes, see where it's at on the 15. No green zones at all. So this thing could still keep on. It's a lot of room to the downside, according to this. Euro is still strong. Now this could be a little, this is a little bit of what I was talking about with the flag pattern. Let's take a look at this on another chart. Euro yen. It's just so much easier drawing off of this thing. Here's our strong move down. See, this is what I was talking about a little bit with now I'm on a 15-minute chart. And this is what I was talking about with this Fibonacci retracement. This is almost a classic example of it. Here's our move. Here's our move, come down. Here's the first, and it comes back up and it retraces. And you can see that as I expand this thing out, let me go to a 5-minute chart now. So here's the top of the move. I'm going to tweak this a little bit. Here's the bottom of this strong move down. Here's the retracement. You can see where this retracement here, see where this line right here comes in. This is right around the 38 to 40% retracement. So it stayed less than that. It could go all the way up to this point right up here, up into this zone. And it would have given that it's still been well within my retracement criteria. It came down right about to here, retraced, broke this trend line right here coming in. It broke it, and then here's the target. And here's remember I said about the 100 to 78% retracement. So this is almost like a classic example of what I was trying to say earlier, is that you have your strong move down, you have your pullback, and then it comes back down. The next target is going to be usually about the 100%. And that happens over and over and over again. But if you get the stronger the retracement, the less likely you are to hit that target, or the target's going to be, as you can see, that 100% to 78 goes up. The higher this thing goes, the higher that target goes. The lower it goes, the more likely you are to hit that target, because this is just a small little basing area. Now, is this a flag? Is this a wedge? No. Is it a pennant? I don't care what you call it. It's there. It's it's consolidated. It's a basing zone. It's come back, broke, came back up. Here's the break and retest. Here's you can draw your little wedge right in this little spot right here. You can see the wedge. From actually you have here to here, lower high, higher low. There's your wedge. Here's your break. It breaks the wedge, closes below, comes back up, retests the wedge, and then away it goes. Here's my target zone right in here. You see it just made off in one clean sweep, came back down, based again, broke through, and now it's coming back to retest. But this is almost like this is what I was trying to show earlier when my screen locked up. Strong move down, pull back, 38%, came back. Now I have a little wedge in here, breaks the bottom of the wedge, comes back, retests that wedge, and then away it goes. And a lot of times I'll go and I'll move this thing up to midway just to make sure I get into my target. And you can see right here, here's where it came right down and it based right inside this little zone right here between 78 and 100. So, and that's just a good example of that. And that's pretty much what this thing's doing right now. Again, now this part is already over. It came back down, hitting this. I don't know that it's totally done yet. Let's move over here, take a look at the higher time frame and see where our target could be. Take my charts off here, come back 15-minute chart. So now I'm looking to see, okay, it made this little zone right here. Where over to the left is it the next time where this part was retested. And you can see that, let's see, 28.85. This is the area where I'd be looking at this thing to be coming down to. This will be the next area. That's where the wicks are. This one's already been taken out. This piece has been taken out. So right now, this is where you found that rejection. So this is a level that seems to be important. Now, if it can break through that, then it's going to be going. Then you're looking at coming down to. Spread this out a little bit. See all these wicks right here. This is a lot of wicks right here. So come over here, get wicks, 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 wicks. Come over here. Here's the next body of the candles. And so it's got to get through this little zone right in here. Come back over. But I would look at this area right now as being the retest area. It came back down, flagged, came back down. Now it's going to come up and retest. Let's see if there's any more sellers up in this area. So I'd be waiting for a retracement up here. This would be the retest. And basically just retest and see if there's anything left up in here to send it back down this way. This would be a strong, this is probably about 50% pullback, probably a little bit more than that actually. Put my fib lines from here down to here. And you can see this is right at the 50 to 62% retracement right in this zone. See if it comes up. If it grabs it, I would not hesitate to take it short here with my stop on the other side of that zone, or at least on the other side of this moving average. But right now it's another pullback. Here's a pullback, 38%, less than 38%. This thing could very well turn. If I got a little flag pattern right up in here on a lower time frame, then I could be looking at least using this as a target again. Now it may have a little bit of here's a low, here's a little higher low. There's a little bit of a flag right here where it sort of broke out of this little triangle. Here's a little flag, a little wedge, broke out, coming up. See how far out deep it's going to go. 38%. If we get another little flag up here to go to the downside, then because I still think there may be some more momentum still to the downside. The euro is, the Japanese yen is still strong. Well, actually, it's losing ground here. The euro is now becoming stronger off of this move. But I don't think this down move is totally done yet. Do we have any questions about that?
I have nothing.
Me neither.
That's just analysis of it. So, but I do think this is still in a down move. If you were to get another, see, we're back on the 15-minute. So if we get enough of a pullback here to be able to get your 20 pips out of that, then I say it'd be a good trade. So if we're looking at this as being let's say the bodies of this candle being the target, then I would be looking, this is where you kind of can project how you want to take the trade or what your parameters are for taking a trade. Let's see, so we take a target of, well, let's say 128.78, call it 128. And open. Now, so we're going to look at 128. 98. There's our 20 pips there and 40 pips. So 129. Just call it, no, measure this out here. So if you want to look at your target being here at right below, because you want to make sure you have enough room for the spreads to get you filled out of the trade. And so that's at 128.90. So we're going to go 129.10. You'd want to be able to enter here. And then you want your stop being at 129.50. That's your 40 pip stop. So right now, anytime you could be looking right now, if you got in right now, you could be able to take your 20 pip target. And we don't know exactly where, we know there's some room down here for it to still go a little bit deeper. Now the question is just, do we have the momentum to carry it down that way? We are in an uptrend. Well, actually, we're from the 1 hour chart, we were in an uptrend, but from the 15-minute, we're really not showing any green down below. So we're still kind of in a downtrend on the 15-minute. But from a Fibonacci standpoint, we could be looking at from here to here, see how far it pulls back. I'd like to see it get I'd like to see it get up into at least bounce off of this arrow moving average. See, as long as if we get a little bit, you can look at a fractal on this one. Indicator, fractals, you can catch it on the Bill Williams. Once you get it loaded up, I think a lot of times it'll just default up here. And my color is yellow. And so you can see if you can get a fractal high up here somewhere around this 38 to 50, get a fractal high, you can maybe, and have enough room to get in, you maybe catch a 20 pip move on this one. I kind of like that actually.
Al, you have 4 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
It
is about that time, isn't it? Any other last questions? We didn't really get any trades today. We were loading up charts, but you'll have your chart now. You have your charts all loaded up for the next 3-hour session coming up. And I don't know if Matt's running that room today or not.
There'll be the Jackie show.
Oh, that's a Jackie show today. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just be assisting her where I can.
Okay.
And we'll see you all there if you come.
Okay. So hopefully everybody learned a little something on retracements and Fibonacci retracements and that sort of thing today. Again, we got our charts all reloaded up. We a little slow getting some alerts coming in. Still another 3 hours of trading time still available. So I thank you for all your questions. Thank you for your participation, and we will see you again tomorrow. See you at the other side of the Jackie show. And take care, everyone.